All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the eventual return for the second half of The Walking Dead Season 10. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts first on that Michonne clip from the trailer, if you guys remember, for Season 10, where she walked out with Lucille and pointed it towards the camera. So was that actually a real scene, or was that totally misdirection? Alright, so I thought this was a good one for us to go ahead and start with for today, because this is what I was just thinking about. Somehow it just popped into my mind. I was like, oh yeah, what about that that scene that we saw in the trailer, if you guys remember, of right at the end of the trailer for The Walking Dead Season 10, where Michonne kind of comes out and you've got the music. It's right at the end of the trailer. She points Lucille at you, and she's got like, I don't know, like some kind of skull cap on or something like that, and in like different gear. And when I look at the whole rest of the trailer, we basically saw everything in the first half of The Walking Dead Season 10 that's in the trailer, I think. Like, when I go through it, it's like every scene looks like it's from the first half of The Walking Dead Season 10. And, of course, where Michonne's at right now, going into the second half of The Walking Dead Season 10, with her being with Virgil and even her hair and stuff like that, it doesn't look at all like that scene was like we're gonna see that scene. So, you know, it's so weird. Anna Hunt's the one who asked the question. She said, "Trev, who do you think Michonne is pointing Lucille at in the promo? So in the trailer for The Walking Dead Season 10." I don't think it's a real scene at this point, and that's kind of funny because if you guys remember the Comic-Con trailer for The Walking Dead Season 10, that was like the end point of the trailer. Like, they put that right at the very end. It was probably the thing that was most exciting for the season, and it's probably the thing that was like the most discussed and most talked about, is that how is this going to come about? How is Michonne going to use Lucille? How is she going to like get it, first of all, and then who is she going to be pointing it to for the season? And it looks like, based on timing and the fact that everything else in the season 10 trailer we've already seen, which means they likely didn't film the stuff coming up later at that point just yet. So I'm really leaning right now towards it was completely a fake out, like 100%, and that we're not going to see Michonne even touch Lucille or have anything to do with Lucille. If you look at it in terms of position as well too, it looks like it's completely misdirection. It looks like they might have been just messing around on set. Maybe they thought it could be a cool kind of thing that they just did as like maybe an outtake or something they could throw on the Blu-ray or DVD or something like that. And maybe they decided, like, let's put it in the trailer to really mess people up and really like confuse the audience. Because sometimes they do that. If you guys remember Season 5's trailer, so this is nothing new, 5 years ago for Season 5's trailer, they had Garrett say something like, we'll all, go to Washington together or something like this. So, like as if the cannibals were going to join with Rick and the others and actually take Eugene to Washington together. And of course, that was completely misdirection too. So, for Anna, I don't think she's really pointing Lucille at anybody, unfortunately to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you, but based on all that information, just based on where Michonne is at right now, the fact that she's kind of with Virgil and they're sort of going off on this journey 100%, I'd say that I don't think it's a real scene at all. I think it's completely misdirection, and I don't think we'll see it. I'm just trying to think, like, how could that work into the storyline if she just has like a couple episodes left and she's already gone? She's going to be with Virgil, and then something will happen there, and we'll see her like final episode in the Walking Dead series, most likely while the Whispers are still around. How could it be possible that she would come back, somehow get Lucille, and somehow, point that at who knows, I don't know, Alpha or somebody like this? No, I'd say it's much more likely, based on where we're at right now, that it was completely and totally a fake out scene, which is kind of frustrating because it was the best thing in the Season 10 trailer. So that's what I'm thinking with regards to that one. But you guys can certainly leave a comment below and let me know what you think. If you guys remember the scene, it's like, it's so weird. It's got to be totally a fake out, right? And I snuck up and caught me in the face. I cut myself shaving, so no big deal. Don't worry. It wasn't Randall didn't get me or anything, guys. John Rod says topic videos like flat Earth conspiracy theory videos are really cool. Please make more of those. So I wanted to, going forward with the channel and that kind of stuff as we kind of try to incorporate more different things rather than just Walking Dead all the time. But I wanted to do like a whole series on different conspiracy theory topics, give my thoughts on them and that whole kind of thing. I really did. And then what happened is I posted a couple of those and I started getting calls on my phone, government tracking calls on my phone. So I posted like the flat earth one, and then I did like a second one, and then I did like a Paul is dead one. Right after I did that, literally they just stopped like this week, like last week. Every day since that time, I pretty much got these weird, and several of them a day. Like I'm talking like being spammed on my phone like crazy. And then somebody, a week after that, somebody went into one of my email accounts, and they didn't hack it. They knew the password right away, and they went in. Also, I have two-factor authentication turned on for my accounts, which means that when I sign in, I go to sign in, my phone gets a code, and then it signs in that way. So even if someone had the password, they would have to basically have my phone and the password in order to sign in to my accounts. Except that didn't happen. Somehow somebody just knew the password and signed in the account. So I think I better steer clear of all the conspiracy stuff. Not going to be doing any stuff regarding the shape of the Earth, outer space being fake, anything to do with moon landings being fake or anything like that, because that's what happened, man. And you guys can believe me when I'm telling you that, or you can think Trev's totally, and maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe somebody did somehow, I don't know how you could guess a password and do that, but without two-factor authentication, they had to go in via IMAP and act like they were setting it up that way and got in the account. So I locked them out, I changed the password, all that stuff, so it's cool. But it just freaked me out, man, especially all the calls, because I didn't get anything before that. I do a couple of videos like that 1 week, or like a few videos within the first week of The Walking Dead returning with season 10. All of a sudden I start getting all these calls on my phone, and I'm like, what is going on? This is so weird. And I understand there's scammers out there, there's spammers that go around and spam people and that kind of stuff. It's possible your account could get broken into or hacked. Like people can brute force it, which means they guess passwords and stuff like that. But when I looked at the sign-in activity, it wasn't guessed. They knew the password right away and they just went right in. So it was a Microsoft Hotmail type of account. So I'm just sitting here saying like, okay, I guess we're not supposed to talk about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, either it's a coincidence, but I've been doing this 11 years and I've never had anything like that happen before. So it just freaked me out to such a degree. I deleted the Paul is dead conspiracy theory video, and I just decided, you know what? I don't think that this is a good area to get into. So that's what happened. So for John, I'm sorry, man. I'd love to do more conspiracy topic videos with you guys and go through a lot of these different things and go into some detail and stuff like that. But I hope it's just some idiot scammers or something like that, or somehow somebody luckily guessed the password and somehow was able to just get into one of my accounts. But yeah, I guess you could say it's a weird coincidence that happened. Like I said, you can believe me or not believe me, but it's up to you. But definitely, I wanted to do that, but just the responses I was getting and stuff, and then starting to see all this weird behavior, it was kind of like, it was almost like saying like, hey, Trev, we saw what you did. We saw those videos. Don't be talking about space being fake. Don't be talking about this kind of stuff. It's not cool. And if you keep it up, it's sort of like, maybe not a slap on the wrist, but it's like, hey, we see you. We see you. So like I said, it could just be a coincidence. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but it's just a space that, I don't want to get into whatsoever. I told myself before I did it, like, if I start seeing anything weird happening or any weird stuff like this, I'm not going to make any more of these. Or if people hate it, I'm not going to make any more of them. And I thought it was a joke. Like, I was like, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? I thought it was some kind of joke, to even kind of discuss it or think about it. I didn't think that it'd be anything serious, but I definitely don't want to mess with the powers that be. Let's just put it that way, right? So I hope you understand, John. I'm sorry, man, but it's just like, I got the sense, that it's something we're not supposed to talk about. Next one comes from Ralphie Cifaretto, who says, Trev, I'm just glad you were smart enough not to quit your day job, realizing that the YouTube bubble would eventually burst. Even if it goes away for you entirely, you had a good, 10 year, you put 10 years, more like 11 years, 11-year run. But, I just wanted to say as well, too, with the channel, we did get kind of the new news that maybe season 12 might be around the end time for Walking Dead. But here's the thing, guys, it doesn't mean that even if it's true and that is what we see, it doesn't mean there aren't going to be other things that we're going to want to check out. And there aren't going to be other series that are going to possibly come up and maybe fill that space. If The Walking Dead does eventually end in a few years, that's going to create a huge void for other things to come up and to kind of be there. So I don't want to make it sound like it's all doom and gloom with kind of the news and that recently. We just kind of have to see what happens, and I'm sure it'll be fine, guys. I'm sure we'll find stuff. I would still like to do this with you guys because I have so much fun doing this with you, and I'm glad that we've been able to connect on, The Walking Dead because it's such an amazing property. It's so much fun to discuss with you guys, and I have a lot of fun doing this with you guys. But even if, that phase kind of comes to an end at some point, it doesn't mean that there won't be other stuff. It doesn't mean there won't be other shows that maybe we can try and kind of see how they go and stuff like that. So I'm prepared to go forward with the channel about as long as I can, and I don't want you guys to worry too much. Thank you, all you guys who have helped out via Patreon. And if you want to do that, you can do. I'll put the link in the description for that. But it's cool, man. I don't want people to worry either. I think what happens is, when new news comes out like that, sometimes you get that shock value, you get that shock thing, like oh my god, it's just going to be ending soon, blah, blah, and you get all worried and frantic as a fan, right? Like you get all kind of panicky because that's just normal. Because when you love something and you find out that maybe it could be coming to an end soon, it kind of scares you and stuff. But now that we've had a little while to kind of let that kind of settle and understand, it's like, okay. That's cool, though, if you really think about it. It doesn't mean that there won't be Walking Dead movies or other properties. AMC's going to want to use as much as they can. So even if the original series, does finish off there, hey, that's okay. There's going to be other stuff we can check out. And even if it's only a few videos a week, if we do 3 or 4 videos a week instead of 10 or 7 or something like that, that's fine, too. It's just, it's all good. Don't worry about me, guys. I'm sure it'll be just fine. And, we'll always find something, I think, to connect on and have fun with. And that's really what it's all about. It's all about having fun. So let's just, that's what I'm going to focus on, is just try to do that, not worry about anything else. So it's just a natural reaction. Sometimes you just hear that you're like, oh my God, the sky's falling, right? But it's not. It's going to be okay either way. And, we'll enjoy it and see what else, we can kind of find after that, if even if it is true. And if it's not, well then great, that's fine too. I'm Joker28 says, you question or disobey Rick Grimes, you risk your life. Having Carol as your mom, you risk your life. And now being in a relationship with Rosita, you risk your life. So I like that one. He's got some good comments, so that's a classic one. That's good. Daryl Dixon says, Trevor, are you getting burned out on covering Walking Dead material? You've been doing it a long time, so basically like 11 years or so. I'm not, man, because if you can't tell from my enthusiasm, it's kind of obvious, right, that I'm not. Or my t-shirt that I'm wearing, or the background of the channel. It's like, no, man, like, I understand what you're saying. Like, I get that eventually you could kind of get bored of something or whatever. For me, for whatever reason, when it comes to Walking Dead, I love Walking Dead. I always have fun discussing Walking Dead with you guys. It's so much fun for me, and so I really enjoy it. And no, I'll never really get burned out on it. I'll always enjoy it as long as it's on for. And even then, I like other zombie movies and stuff. Day of the Dead, maybe I should do a review for at some point. Maybe we could do that for a Christmas special this year, Day of the Dead review, because it might be inspiration for the Rick movie. We'll see if they go that route. It seemed like it might be, so we'll see. Cygarniczka says 1080p Trev. I thought it would never happen, so that's true, right? And it might go higher than that. We might get 4K pretty soon. So let's see. So I'm gonna get a new web camera pretty soon, and we'll see what that looks like, and we'll see if that's good. I don't know if it'll make any difference. It's just me talking with you guys, so I don't know if 1080p or 4K makes a difference over 720. I don't know if it matters, but eventually we got to do it anyway, so we're gonna try it, and it's what it is. Brian Rogalski says, I heard that there's a possibility that Andrew Lincoln could come back to the TV series. I'm not sure how reliable the Metro.uk site is as a resource. But what do you think, Trev? Do you think it's possible that Andrew Lincoln could come back to the Walking Dead TV series, and would it inject new life into the show if that happened, if they continued? So I think Angela Kang did an interview where she said that the door is always open for him to come back, but it would be up to him. The problem is, he said in an interview that categorically he was not ever going to come back to the TV series. That's what he said, so unless he changes his mind, which he could do over the years, you say something 1 year, 2 or 3 years later, you might decide something else. Maybe he just gets the itch and he just decides, this is what made me, superstar. I want to go back and do some more because I owe it to the fans or whatever. He feels that way. That he probably could. But I think that you also have to involve agents and things like that in those conversations, and their goal is going to be to get their client the best deal they can get them. So if the negotiations just were like the agent was like, or whoever was negotiating for him, was trying to get the most money possible, which they always do, right? So, because that's their job, kind of, right? In a lot of ways, find them work and then find the best work for them, especially if you have somebody who's, a hot property like Andrew Lincoln, as of course, after playing Rick, is, obviously. So for someone like that, the agent's going to be like, no, you're not doing it anymore. You'll do the movies only, and that's what it is. Now, if the movies got canceled or something, then maybe that would make more sense. But I'll still go based on what he said. I think what Angela Kang is saying is that that if he ever wanted to come back, they would always welcome him back with open arms. And they would even have to change maybe the creative for that year or the next year or whatever to make that work. They would adjust it for him. It'd be worth it for them. But I think we can probably say, dude, I wouldn't get my hopes up. I don't think it'll ever happen. If it did happen, it might just be like a one-off for fun just because he wanted to. Like he might just come back for a hallucination or like an end scene or something like that, just for like a one-time deal, just because he feels like it, just because, it's fun for him to do it, right? So maybe we'll see something like that. But I don't think we'll ever see him as a series regular in the series again. I just don't, which is sad to say, but I just don't. But for the movies, if he's going to, be there for the movies and do that, then that should be just fine too, right? So that's cool. Mary R says, you should have your wife do the male review. So have her do the top 10 hottest guys in The Walking Dead, right? So I'll ask her if she wants to do that. Maybe she could do that. Whether we do it together. That'd be fun. I gotta get her involved in some videos and some stuff. So we'll see. I'll try to do that. We'll see. Shadow Dice Gaming says your subscriber count went from 229,000. Actually, it was at 230,000 to 228,000. What happened? I pissed off the girls by doing that video about top 10 hottest women in Walking Dead. That's what happened. Or maybe the weightlifting video. Maybe that pissed off some people too. So I don't know. When you try different things, sometimes you piss people off and they don't like it. So that's what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. But it's just, whatever. It's cool. It's no big deal. So anyway, that'll be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think about the Michonne Lucille scene. I just think it's total them having fun, messing with us completely. And let me know if you think that we could ever see Rick return in the TV series, and what you guys think about the changes to the channel. And lots more changes to come. So good stuff. That'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and subscribe to the bottom left if you're new. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon. As always, it's Trev saying peace later, guys. See you soon.